All right. Welcome back to Waste Some Time with Jason Green. I am Jason Green today, coming to you live from Hollywood, California. It sounds more special than it is. Really, this is the most of Hollywood you're going to see in this episode. When I was a kid growing up in New York City, I thought how exciting it would be to go to Hollywood, California, and see where the movies are made. I wanted to be in the movie business. Eventually, I was, or maybe a different part of the movie business. But it seemed so exciting. It seemed like the streets were paved with gold, and you could walk up and down and look at the stars on the boulevard, so to speak. It wasn't until the 90s that I got to come out here. I think I went to Las Vegas. No, I went to California first in the 90s. I was working for a company called Troma, makers of the Toxic Avenger. And I wrote a series of things. There was a thing called Network One. This is when satellite television was getting really popular. And I wrote these wraparounds, and I played a character named Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD. And so they brought me out to California in 1994. Went to the Cannes Film Festival. Spent a month in California. In 1995, I came back and spent even longer. There was a time when I was working for MTV, The Real World, and I was living in an apartment with Puck. Puck was the kid who got thrown out, if you don't remember him. And it was crazy that living there. Sometimes the power would get turned off. Sometimes the roaches would be big enough to move the pictures. It was not the best time. And then for a little while, Jacinda Barrett, who was a famous actress and model, she moved in too. And it was pretty crazy. And I used to go to a double feature. I think it was called the Vine Theater. I can't remember. It was a movie theater on Hollywood Boulevard. I passed it today. It's abandoned. And I remember going to watch really bad movies at midnight double features, risking my life walking. Ed Wood lived right across the street, and he was dead already, but the place where he lived. And, of course, the Plowboy Liquor. And anyway, the funny thing about all of this is maybe 20 years later, I met Michelle, and turns out that her place is literally across the street from where I first lived. And it's strange. Neighborhood's a little nicer now. I went for a walk today on Hollywood Boulevard. I went to Greco's Pizza. The pizza kind of sucks, but it's been there since 1979. It's the big giant slices like you get in the Bronx in New York, but it's not good. But it was more the experience. And I walked around and stepped over crackheads and homeless people and other lunatics. Anyway, and I went to the Funko Hollywood store. I bought this thing today. This is the 25th anniversary of Funko, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Vault box set. This is like a safe. Well, they made 25,000 of these. The original Rudolph is probably worth $300 or so. So they made this new one. Maybe we'll open this later. While I'm here in California, I came here to celebrate Halloween. Right? Most wonderful time of year. I went to Universal Horror Nights last night. It was my second time going. Everyone thinks it's going to be really busy on Halloween, but in fact, it was not. It actually got to do almost everything and in record time. And so that was fun. It was a great way to spend Halloween. I may go see Guns N' Roses either tonight or tomorrow at the Hollywood Bowl. Depends on. I used to know people, but maybe I don't anymore. I used to know Dizzy Reed. He doesn't return my phone calls. Not a big loss, I suppose. I'm not even looking for tickets, to be honest, but from him necessarily. So, and then on Friday, Mighty Kiss on their farewell tour. I saw Kiss's last farewell tour, 2000. So here we are 23 years later. I want to be part of it, but I don't want to spend $1 million, even though you see me here lavishly on this hit show, I don't want to lay out $1 million. Anyway, we're going to find out in a little while where in the world is Wednesday 13. Halloween is over. He's probably a little depressed, but he'll stop in. We're going to talk more about Hollywood. We're going to answer your questions. We'll talk about the late Steve Riley, anything that you want, and more right after this. Just wanna waste some time with you. Sometimes it seems too good to be true. Nobody out there can waste time without you. Last time I saw you guys, I was in Jackpot, Nevada, which, believe it or not, took 2 flights from Las Vegas, Nevada. I had to go to Salt Lake and then Salt Lake to Twin Falls, Idaho, and then drive 45 minutes to Jackpot, Nevada. And so when I arrived, I got the news of Steve Riley's passing from LA Guns and Wasp. You know, a lot of sources reported that we were close friends. I don't want to say that. You know, I didn't go out to lunch with the guy, and we didn't watch Jeopardy or play bingo. But I did like him. I did like working with him, and it was very sad. And I made the decision to come on here and talk about it live, and as offer a tribute, if you will. 20,000 people have watched it so far, and I think it was a nice way to deal with a tough situation. And a lot of people heard it first from me. It was also reported on Metal Sludge. I waited until it was out before I kind of jumped in. In a second, I'm going to get to your questions, and then let's see. Out of the corner of my eye, it looks like dummies, but I could be wrong. I have to put my glasses on to read that. So anyway, I really enjoyed knowing Steve Riley, and it was a shame. I'm glad I did the show. I didn't get the negative that I expected. I thought people would say that I was sort of capitalizing. Since my show, I see a lot of people clickbaiting and trying to do the same exact thing. That's how YouTube works. People see someone do something and then they try to do it. And that's life. You try to be successful. You find someone who's good at something. So I'm flattered when people attempt to do stuff that we do here on this show. I'm so glad that you guys joined. I know it's a little early today. I've got some things I've got to do. First of all, let's get to the super chats. That's really so kind. AZ, do you think Steve's passing could trigger a reshuffling of Phil and Tracy's version? Rest in peace, Steve Riley. AZ, it's a good question. I'll tell you what I think. First of all, I think it's disrespectful for idiots out there who say, well, no, there won't be 2 LA Guns problems. It's so stupid. And you know who you are if you said those things. You're probably the same idiot who made Matthew Perry jokes. You know what I mean? There's more than one of you. I don't think Kelly Nichols will ever play with LA Guns. I believe that the Riley's LA Guns version will continue to play. I believe that they will play that record. They will promote it. I don't know who's going to play drums. I'm just speculating. Scotty Griffin will be here soon, who is in that band. And maybe Kelly will too at some point. But we got to let some time pass. My prediction for LA Guns has always been the same. When Phil left Steve Riley and came back to Tracy, I reunited the two. I believe he has a piece of the name LA Guns. I think Tracy will give up at some point, as he has many times. He'll go find some other interest. And Phil will continue playing with LA Guns by himself. He may be 105 at that point. But that's my prediction, that eventually there will be an LA Guns that just has Phil. Could be wrong. I have really no interest in LA Guns anymore. I saw them when it was good. Not interested anymore. That record called The Dark Horse by Riley's LA Guns will come out, and you can hear it. I've heard it. You see what you think. It's not rehashed, more of the same, in my opinion. So, okay. So let's see what's going on. Let me look at these comments, because I feel like we could have some dummies. I enjoy a good dummy every now and then. All right. Scott Fowler, first one here today. Jason, you started early tonight. Can't wait to waste some time. So I'm happy to waste time with you. Lorraine, it's so nice to see Lorraine here. Lorraine, I can't stay long because she has a Meet the Author event with John Stamos. By the way, if anyone watching makes glasses, I need some new glasses. Spectacle Eyewear let me down. They dropped the ball. He sent me these bifocals, trifocals. I just need regular glasses, but these are crooked. Okay. And not like crooked like they robbed the bank. Dave Balls, good to see you. Joe in Seattle. I love seeing the channel members. California Dreaming. It's great to see how many of you support. Hello, Jason, fellow time wasters, best channel ever. Thank you so much. And Mr. Neil 420 in North Dakota. Nice. Michelle Simon is here. Lisa is here. Okay. Dean, good to see you. Scott, good to see you. Here's a hypothetical question, but there's no question. I hate when people do that. I hate people who write me and say hi or say, I have a question. Just get to it. You only got one shot. I'm not reading separate messages. I'm not going to, most likely, I'm not trying to sound like a jerk, but I just don't. I get right to it. You know what I'm saying? Do you know if Stephen Pearson will ever come to Shreveport, Louisiana? Tough questions. I can't answer. We get them all the time. I will tell you that if Stephen Pearson comes to your town, you better go see him, because a lot of these places will not be the same. Oh, well, here's the question. If the bass player for Stephen Pearson couldn't make the show, would you be able to step in and cover the bass parts? It's not my style of music. There was a time when a bass player missed a flight, and there was some conversation about me doing it. It's not my style of music. I often think I should learn those songs. I would play them very basic. Matt Thorne is the bass player for Stephen Pearcy, and he was the first bass player to ever record with RATT on the Metal Massacre EP. That's Matt Thorne. Anyway, he's there. They don't need me. But I believe I'm supposed to be playing at the Whiskey before Stephen Pearcy. I'm going to sit in with the band, and I'll confirm all that soon. Okay, let me get some more questions. And then I got to go learn those songs to the RATT show. Okay. Oh, Paul's watching in Scotland, so I'm glad you're getting. Yeah, I should be consistent with things, but I don't do it. Joe in Seattle says Guns N' Roses was a mixed bag. I feel like I could go get cheap tickets. You know what I mean? And same with Kiss. I feel like there's cheap. I feel like it's a bomb. Can't say that, can you? Okay. So Robin, I think, is the. Let's see. Enough with us already. Okay, everybody dies. He made 67. He wasn't too young to die. So Robin is the asshole. He or she, as the case may be. Jason, who cares already? I mean, my brother Danny is too young to. Shut up. You know, life. You know, people die. Yeah, I get it. But when it's someone you know, you talk about it. And 67 is too young. People should live longer. So, Robin, go fuck yourself. We'll put Robin in a little timeout. I apologize. And Wednesday will be here soon. I'm using my phone. I don't usually do that. So hopefully everything will go smoothly. Okay. Hi, Lisa. Nice to see you. Hi, Julie. All the channel members makes me so happy to see. Can't wait to listen to you guys' great chemistry. Well, thank you. I'm happy that Wednesday's a part of this. I wish he was here. It's very dull being in LA without him. We could be off doing fun stuff. Melanie says she loves Wednesdays, and he will be here in a little bit. Curious if you want to talk about it. How is your hand? It sucks. That's the other reason that I don't think you'll see me playing bass too soon. I have a thing called trigger finger, and it's in here and here, and it's very hard for me to make a fist. I've been in physical therapy, hand therapy, and I pick up coins all day and put them in a thing, and I do this, and then I do exercise. And I will tell you that the people around me have it way worse than me in physical. There's people in there who are recovering from strokes and car accidents, so I shouldn't complain. But I cannot make a fist yet. We're going to do this for twice a week for 6 weeks. If it doesn't work, I'll have to have some surgery. They think because of my diabetes, surgery would not be a good idea. Get Jizzy back on the show. Damn it. Well, we're Rebel from the waist down. I think that could happen. Jizzy's in the Tour Divers a lot. Jizzy came to soundcheck and he sang RATT songs with the band, which was kind of fun. So maybe you'll see some of that. Jeff Mars, thank you so much for the more than generous super chat. Thanks for your Tour Divers and live shows. Well, thank you so much. It's much appreciated, your generosity, and I'm glad you're enjoying them. The last Tour Diary, by the way, a lot of people haven't watched it because it came out the same morning that we announced Steve Riley's passing, so it got lost. So if you haven't watched the last Tour Diary, it's a good one. It's from Hannibal, Missouri, the birthplace of the boyhood home of the birthplace of Mark Twain. So I recommend you watch it. A lot of people saying nice things about Steve Riley. I felt that Phil kept it classy with addressing Steve's passing, honest about the nature of the relationship over the years, but not disrespectful. I think it was fine. I texted Phil and told him that. Not that he needed to hear it from me. But yeah, I think he was fine. You don't have to be best friends with everybody. Johnny Ramone and Joey Ramone didn't speak the majority of their career, yet, you know, they said Johnny said nice things about Joey when he passed. Will the Thorns of Burbank make a guest appearance anytime soon? I hope so. I hope the Thorns of Burbank are watching. I texted the male Thorn of Burbank and see if we can get together for lunch while they're here. And then I want to have a full show where Matt sits in for the hour and we talk about some bass and some other things. He has a record coming out that I want to promote, and that record's going to be available at the Stephen Pearcy shows very soon. So just wanted to get that to you. Trying to read all the questions. Some of this. California Dream is also a Patreon member. And yes, Lisa, thank you. Patreon is great as well. Can I meet you without buying a VIP for Stephen Clint? That's a great question. Sometimes you don't want to meet Stephen Pearcy. You just want to meet me. And that's very kind. You know, I'm everywhere at these shows. If you message me, we can meet up. I'm happy to meet everyone. So, and I'm usually the first one there and the last one to leave, and I do make sure to meet everybody. Thank you. You're looking healthy, JG. Oh, thank you. I don't feel it. But, okay. I'm trying to just, let's see the ones. Oh, good. Vito Brada's here. Twitter is great. Thank you for providing such a great time. Thank you, Vito. I'm glad you enjoy it, and I hope to see you live soon. Jason, did you see Five Nights at Freddy's? I did. You know, I'm what they call an influencer, and I went to an advanced screening. I enjoyed it. You know, it's a PG-13 movie for kids, so you're not going to see. You're only going to see so much. You know what I mean? But it's fun. I liked it, and it did incredibly well. Did you watch any new horror for Halloween? There's been a lot uploaded recently, and I didn't know what to watch next. I don't watch anything new, really. I like old. You know, I like old. Where in the world is Wednesday San Diego? Well, fitting, but I don't think that's where he is. What Murder Doll? What was your favorite maze at Horror Nights? Good question. I like the Universal Monsters one. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Universal fan. It wasn't even the major characters. It wasn't your Frankenstein or your Dracula, your Wolfman or your Mummy. It was, the Invisible Man was in it, and Phantom of the Opera was in it, and maybe the Wolfman snuck in there. Jekyll and Hyde. But I thought that was the best one. I thought that had the most scares. I thought it was the longest maze. The Last of Us is a show I don't watch, and I don't care for zombies or fungi, and I don't play video games. So that one was wasted on me. I enjoy Holidays in Hell, which was fun, just a kind of quick one. Stranger Things was okay. I mean, it was cool, but there's only so much you can do. There's the Spanish one. It wasn't very good for me. It was boring. And Chucky was silly. Chucky's not one of my favorite monsters, you know, but at least he's licensed. Universal seemed cheap to me this year on licensed characters. You got to have Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers. You have to have one of them. Here, Dreamer's Life. May I ask you a question, please, Jason? Just ask the question. You don't have to ask a question. Just ask the question. Someone says I should have Bitsy's picture on my luggage. Yeah, it's strange being here without Bitsy, and all the super chats are much bigger when Bitsy's around. All right, so just a little bit. Wednesday 13 will join us, and he's not here yet, but he's got a busy day wherever he is. He's got a sound check. He's on a time difference, and he has a meet and greet that's sold out today. Justin thinks that Chucky is one of the lamest horror characters. I'm kind of with you. I thought the idea for the original movie was kind of fun, but I thought it just started getting stupid. Let's see. Okay, here comes a with all due respect. With all due respect usually starts with an asshole. No offense, SM, I haven't read it yet. With all due respect, were you ever able to see Paul Mars, Nikki B era LA Guns? That was a heck of I see what you're saying. And maybe you're implying with due respect, meaning I wasn't old enough. No, I never saw them. I wasn't old enough. I saw Paul Black, Nikki Beat, and Tracy Guns when they did a reunion in the 2000s. I like Paul Black. I like Hang on the Channel. Phil Lewis is one of the reasons LA Guns is successful. Whether they stole songs, that's another story. But I think Phil worked for that band and the band we like. Thank you so much for loving my channel. I appreciate you watching. I go as far as saying I love it. You see, NECA released Tom Atkins, Dr. Chalice 3 with autograph. I just received mine today. I didn't know that. I know they found a couple boxes. I find most of these exclusives to be a little bit of a racket. They tell you it's exclusive and then it's everywhere. How does it feel to have the wonderful experience of working with so many artists? Well, it's great. I mean, I'm definitely fortunate. People that I was a fan of have become friends, and it's great. You know, I try not to take it for granted. I've met so many cool people. I don't ever really know what to say I do for a living because there's so many different things that I do and have done. So, and yes, Steve Riley did play with Steppenwolf. I'm tired. I literally just fell out of bed today. The record behind me, the Cinderella record that you're referring to, is signed by Tom Kiefer. That's Michelle's, and it's not mine, although I did get it signed. In my home, you have all the Cinderella records signed and finished, including the late, great Jeff LeBar. But again, I am not home. Okay, I'm trying to answer as many of your questions as I can, and then I'd like to bring in Wednesday 13. Let's take a look at this thing. I don't know if you guys are fans of Rankin and Bass like I am. We've been talking about Halloween toys like crazy, but I'm a fan of the Christmas toys too. So this is Funko Pop 25,000. 25,000, by the way, it's a lot. The Funko magic is not quite what it used to be, but I love Rankin Bass and I love the holidays, all holidays. But Christmas and Halloween are my favorites. And I used to watch these things every year. Frosty the Snowman might be my favorite. I like it better than Rudolph, but Rudolph's pretty cool too. So, all right, let's take a look at this thing for those of you watching at home. You might want to get one too. Now, let's make sure we take it apart nicely. And if Wednesday comes in, we will get back to this. I don't really know how to get this thing off. This riveting television. Someone was quoting the prices for Guns N' Roses tonight. Yeah, it's got to come down, and the Hollywood Bowl sucks for the nosebleeds. You can't sit all the way in the back at that show. You got to be in the terrace, if you will, because once you're back there, up in the trees. I mean, I think for Kiss it might be okay, because Kiss is shooting things and blowing up. Oh, I see a super chat, which means I will break in. Just saw the Bullet Boys with Doc. I'm sorry. Mainly because your interview with Mark, it was one of the best. Well, that I appreciate, and I think the Mark interview was very good. I can't say there anything else for that. Okay, so they put some tape on this thing for some reason, and it's very difficult to get this stupid thing off. I mean, they're supposed to, these are collectibles. People should want to keep these things in good shape. I don't really know what's going on here. I should have prepped this. If you guys want to keep super chatting while I do this, that'd be great. Smash the like button. Yes. Like the video. I didn't have to come here today. All right, here we go. This is very difficult. Okay, so you get what looks like a safe. That's a vault, right? It's a vault. And then wait, I think Wednesday's here. Well, maybe he might want to see this too. Hold on. He's on a limited time today. All right, hold on. Let's get him in there. Wednesday.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yes. And there's no
All right.
delay
Well,
this time. What's going
no
on?
delay.
What's causing all this?
Before I got this today. This is a Funko Pop Classics 25th anniversary. It comes in a safe, and then inside the safe is a Funko Pop that is a reissue of the first Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which is very expensive now. And then it's got a bunch of other nonsense on this side, like coins and things. I don't really know much about it, but I walked down there today and I had to have it. Did you like the Rankin and Bass specials?
Oh, absolutely. That was a holiday thing every year. My mom was like, "Hey, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer." I'm like, "Oh, gosh," just waited in front of the TV. That Rudolph, Frosty the Snowman, back to back. That was the jam.
That's what I felt too. And you're a lot like me. I mean, obviously Halloween has a special place in our hearts, but pop culture and holidays, they should be fun. And at a certain age, you start to realize you have more holidays behind you than you have ahead of you, and you got to make them count. That's what you're doing. Tell me where you are right now.
We are in Albuquerque, New Mexico, at a venue called the Launch Pad. It's a very small venue compared to the shows we did earlier this week. It still holds like 350, but it's going to be fucking packed tonight. I have 30 VIPs, which I just found out about. I thought I had 10, but now I have 30. So I'm going to do those after the show. It's an early show. I think doors are. I didn't even realize that there was an hour difference between you and me. I was like, oh shit. So I'm doing my VIPs later. It's going to be a great show. Everything's been great. We were in last night. Where were we last night? Oh, last night was Mesa, Arizona, Halloween. We had the Halloween gods on our side, so the show was great. It was packed, and it was a Tuesday night. We turned it into a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Every night is Wednesday with you.
That's right.
Let's let some people say hello to you first, and then we can talk more about what happened.
I did pick this up at Walmart. I've been looking for this. I got
That
Destro.
Destro?
Finally got Destro. This is who I take all of my clothing advice from. As you see, my outfit's pretty much the Destro outfit. I'm just missing the silver head and gloves, but I pretty much got the jacket and the pants. And a lot of people say, "Where do you get your clothing ideas from?" I'm like, Cobra, the enemy.
How much shit do you come home with at the end of a tour?
Oh my God, I come home with so much stuff. The good thing is my girlfriend came out a couple nights ago and picked up everything I've already bought and took it home. So this is the first toy I got. Like within 12 hours of her leaving, I had this. So I'm like, fuck. So yeah, and I have a lot of fans who've been writing me saying they're going to bring stuff. So yeah, it's leading up to Christmas, so it's perfect time. What better way than to give than receive for me?
Speaking of Christmas, this is Statler and Waldorf from the Muppets, but this is as the Marley Brothers from the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Wow.
This glows in the dark if you needed that.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
wow.
And so
they're stepping it up.
They're all kinds of stuff. I feel like I should show some of Michelle's stuff. I'll show you some interesting stuff. She's not here, so I can go through her things. This is what do you call this? A plague doctor.
Okay.
Who would have thought that plague doctors would become adorable, squishable characters, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. I have a granddaughter. Believe it, most people don't realize this how old I actually am or how young I started. is basically what I'm saying.
74 years old, and you look fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah. So I have a 25-year-old daughter and I have a 6-year-old granddaughter, and they both sent me photos last night, and I'm just like, she's dressed as a cowgirl, a very scantily dressed cowgirl, and my granddaughter is full on Wednesday Addams. I mean, she just stayed in character all day. My daughter said she was a brat. So yeah, so just going along with it. Kids are just they got new role models these days. You know, I was weird for being Wednesday Addams being a role model. Now it's like every kid's dream.
Yeah, it's funny. And you know, I never know how much of your personal life you talk about, but you're pretty much an open book. You know, you talk about your family and your real life
Mhm.
outside of the rock and roll Wednesday 13. This thing is
Well,
a death eater. This is a
okay.
Harry Potter thing.
I don't know anything about Harry Potter. That
I'm
I
learning, but I don't really either.
I did get on the ride at Universal. That's always fun. And for some reason, I hate to admit it, but I always get motion sickness on that fucking ride every time.
That one's rough.
And I'm just like, am I really that much of a pussy that Harry Potter's gonna make me vomit? Like,
It's the movie screens and all that shit. That one,
yeah,
Universal is known for herking and jerking and throwing water on you,
yeah.
and that one especially. But they have a new thing where these things, in a scare thing, and I think they're called Death Eaters. Someone in the
Okay.
comments knows,
Oh
but
well. Yeah, I was in my morning Walmart walk this morning and just seeing some toys they had. They had Christopher Lee Mego figure.
wow,
They had the Hatchet figure all locked up. Everything in Walmart's locked up. Fucking
right.
Sharpies, anything you can think of is locked up that people will
Mm-hmm.
steal. And I saw a guy trying to steal something in the ladies' dressing room, and they had 4 armed guards on the guy. I'm just like, I need to get in and get out. I'm like Ultraman. I get in there and my chest starts blinking. I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here before I
Mm-hmm.
explode.
Yeah. Let's let these people say hello. I forgot. That's what
All
I
right.
was set to do. And
Oh, also, I chipped my tooth last night on my microphone.
it's not good.
Dude, I think I'm just glutton for punishment. I knocked my tooth out when I was like 10 years old wrestling with a dude in my gym class. And then I had it replaced, and then I knocked it out every year on a guitar, on a microphone, on this and this. I chipped it a couple of years ago, and then last night I just somehow hit the corner of my tooth and I felt just a little tiny chip. And if anybody's ever chipped their tooth, it feels like the biggest, like you just feel like you knocked your whole tooth out. So the
Mm-hmm.
whole song, I'm just going, I could feel it on my tongue, and I'm like, fuck, fuck, fuck. So about 7 songs later, I finally ran off to when our drummer does his drum solo, and I got to look, and it wasn't that bad. It was, I don't think anybody even noticed. It's like a chip underneath my tooth. So all in the spirit of rock and roll, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just showing everybody's comments because a lot of nice people and a lot of people have been enjoying it on the show. And
Yeah.
I will say that, and we have a lot of the Wednesday fans here, but we have a lot of new people. I tell you, so many people message and say, I would have not known, you know, unless I saw him on the show and listened to it, and they like it. People are digging
Yeah.
it. So great.
My best comment, or the best comment I saw, was somebody said, I clicked on this because in the thumbnail because I thought you were interviewing Mick Mars.
I saw that one too.
Dude, I hear that more than like just this hat and the glasses, and I get called Mick Mars and Marilyn Manson, or years ago I was called Chris Angel of all people. Like it's just
Everybody with black hair is Chris Angel
yeah,
at some point.
yeah.
Yeah. People. Says Wednesday 13 thinks that he would have time to put together a 3-piece band with me and Sean Clark. Well, I don't know. He's going to be busy for an entire year, but maybe we can do something.
There's always time to fuck around and do something like that. That should be our little passion project that we put together.
And maybe we could do something for a good cause. You know,
Yeah,
at this point, I feel like if you could do something good for other people, then you could have some fun too. A lot of
absolutely.
people here who are happy. Martha was at the show and at the whiskey, and she brought Michelle a Wednesday 13 picture. And then yesterday, Michelle said to me, "Get your boy to sign this when you see him." And I said, "You're going to probably see him the same time I see him, so you can
Right.
bring it along."
Yeah.
Let's
Whiskey
see.
show was great. All the shows have been great. I mean, I mean, again, we're not the kind of band that sells stuff out all the time. So when we have a show like the Whiskey Sells Out, it's a big deal for us, you know. And the show, every show after that's been a few hundred kids every night. That's not always the case with me. Sometimes we pull in the town and there's 60, 70 people. You know, that hasn't happened. And of course, and my ticket sales and the so far everything's like, you know, in the triple digits. So things are going well. I'm starting to get a little bit of a cold. You probably hear a little bit of stuffiness in me, but I'm fighting it off. But everyone's it always happens. First, we've been in this tour now. I think we're been gone for like 12 days now, 12, 13 days.
Everybody getting along?
Oh yeah, man. Like, everybody's been saying just how much of a good vibe that we have. Like you hear them right now. They're all coming on the bus right now. So y'all shut the fuck up. I'm doing a podcast. What? Just kidding.
It's good that that you have a band that you can get along with. Not easy.
Yeah, we all get along. We all hang out with each other. We all go get dinner together. We're like brothers here. We, like I said, this lineup, we're all good friends, and we have a good time. And especially this tour, I went into this tour having a good time and wanting to have a good time, and so I'm not going to let any negativity get in my way. If it gets in the way, I brush it out.
Nice. Wednesday, someone's asking if you have a favorite horror movie right now. You've said before Texas Chainsaw is your favorite all time. Is there
Yes.
something that you're currently into?
I'm not really into anything new. I wish I was. I mean, I think the last thing I saw that was new was maybe Terrifier, and I thought it was pretty cool. It was violent. It was over the top. I told you I really dug that movie Mandy with Nicolas Cage.
Right.
It was just a really weird. That's probably the only two newer movies that I liked. But for me, it's just the old school stuff constantly. I'll take the practical effects over the CGI stuff. And I'm not saying there's not anything good. I just haven't seen anything that's floated my boat.
Yeah, Terrifier. I like the image of the character. I think the movies lack story. I mean, they do that intentionally, but sometimes gore just for the sake of gore can bore me.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little. I mean, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but the first one, I thought the Ed Gein style. If you know what that was a pretty amazing point in the movie. But again, it was just gore over story. So
Those Harry Potter things are called Death Eaters. That's what they're
Death
called.
Eaters. All right.
And Melanie Head says she's going to see Wednesday in Indianapolis in a
Okay.
month, and she has the meet and greet and all. So nice.
Nice. Nice. The meet and greets have been really cool so far. Like last night, Halloween, we cap them at 30. So sometimes I don't know till we get here if they're sold out or not. It's like I told you earlier. I was like, oh, I think I got like 10 VIPs, and then they told me I have 30 today. So that's not a problem. That's a good thing. But
You
yeah,
have the venue sell it, right? Is that how you do it?
yes. I have the venue sell it with the tickets, and I think it's about $100 for the ticket and the VIP. So it's like 25 for the ticket for the show, and then like 80 for the VIP. And it's just easier for people to buy through the venue and do it all in one swoop instead of buying it from me, and then I got to contact you, and then it's just easier because
I think
sometimes we
that's a
don't.
good approach. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think you have a good approach, and the venue probably is more helpful because they probably get a cut. They want to be involved.
yeah. Yeah, and I ran into the problems years ago. I do VIPs, and they were like, "Oh, well, what are you doing here? And now you need security, and then we're going to have someone." And then they start. It's just better to go through them and have them do it. And so far, it's been doing great. I'm doing the same thing around in Australia as well. You can buy a ticket and the VIP, or you could. They're all sold out now, so things are doing well. And it just seems the incentive for people to buy a ticket and a VIP together instead of separately. It goes better.
Yeah, and you do take time with people and you sign whatever they bring. It's not a rush thing.
Yep.
Marielle is asking, any chance of you playing Argentina next year?
Argentina? I was like, where's Argentina? Is that the Beach Boys song? Argentina is yeah, it's on the list. We've been talking about going to South America for a long time, and we were going to do it this year, but we got other stuff booked. But it's definitely on the list. South America and Mexico is on the list for next year. Probably, I'm thinking August, September, maybe. That's kind of the timeline we're looking at.
Yeah, SM is saying I misunderstood something he said, and for that he sent $9.99, which is very kind of him. I would be happy to misunderstand more messages. Dave would like to see you in Utah.
Utah. Yeah, we skipped a few places on this run. Like some places just aren't good for us. There's probably a few cool people that want to see the show, but I guess the promoter passed on it. But we'll get it on the next one.
38 shows, as I've said, is a lot of shows in this day and age. And
Yeah.
so you can't hit everywhere.
No, no, we skipped Florida on this run, New York City, New York State. We basically go to Jersey and everything below, and we kind of go west at that point back home. So we've already did. I think I counted. We've done 9 shows so far the tour. So only 29 to go.
Mm-hmm. Ned and Coco are ready to see you in Pittsburgh, so that's going to be a
Yeah,
fun one.
that's gonna be a good one. We've sold 75% of the tickets on that, so I think that's gonna be a sellout. That's a cool venue. They got a DB level, which I don't like because they make us turn it down a bit, which is not
Mm-hmm.
very rock and roll. But there's a bowling alley next door. They got some good food, so it's a cool venue. We always have a good time there.
Yeah, a lot of these venues you've seen before, and you're coming back. You start to get used to things in the area. Do you keep a diary? That's a good question.
Uh, just in my head and ask the guys to remind me of stuff. I don't really write it down. I probably should. But no, my memory's okay these days now that I don't drink anymore. I have more of a memory.
Yeah, that helps.
Yes.
And then we talk about these things, and then at some point someone goes, "Oh, you remember the time you went to this city and you talked about it?" It's a busy life. At Wednesday, I was thinking when you return, we
Mhm.
have to go to the Eastland School for Girls. I found the location where they filmed The Facts of Life, and
No way.
we need to
That's
add it.
great. We gotta dress up in their outfits. We gotta wear the little
Yes.
the little sweater skirts.
We can do the Molly Ringwald, the first
Yeah.
season.
Yeah. I'm gonna be Tootie though.
Yes, well, naturally, yeah. But I've been looking for, just today I'm walking along Hollywood
Mhm.
and I'm looking at all these famous locations that are just right here where the New York Dolls took photos, where LA Guns shot a music video, where Steve Martin said, "I was born a poor and black child."
Oh, one of the greatest movies of all time, and one of the greatest lines from a movie.
It filmed literally a stone's throw from where
Life was never easy for me.
I.
The jerk is
All I
just
need,
never there.
yeah,
Yeah. All I
and that's
need,
all.
I don't need anything. I need this. I need this.
Yeah, and that's all I need. But I'm making a list of interesting places that we could visit. Over 7,000 people have enjoyed our tour
Oh
of the
wow,
Halloween
that's cool.
location.
We'll keep doing more.
And okay, I'm trying to read all these. I try to pre-screen things. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah, I know what you mean. I do the same thing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
yeah. And then someone says you have a Johnny Depp look, and then someone says DJ Ashba, and
Oh,
so
I've been called all these. You know what? All these people I get called, they're all cool looking rock guys. I don't mind. If they start calling me Meatloaf and other people that, maybe I'll be like, hey, watch your mouth.
do you
So
have a TikTok?
I don't have a TikTok. I can't do it. I mean, I'm pretty active with all my social media. I cannot stand Facebook. I have to do it just because most promoters and people do. If it wasn't for the band, I would never have a Facebook. Instagram, I like. TikTok is just, I think it would consume my life. I know I would get into it too much and it would just, I don't need it right now.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Basement Doll. I made my own motherfucker shirt like your old one and wore it in San Jose. Not
I
just
saw
nice. Well, that's what she wanted to know. I think it's a she. Not sure if you saw it, but I hope it amused you. Wanted to
it.
show my appreciation for your amazing stage out.
Yeah, they came to 2 shows, and I think I saw my motherfucker shirt, the style shirt. I used to have a shirt that just had the word motherfucker, and I just put it on my shirt, and we wore that on tour with Alice Cooper. And you would think Alice Cooper shocked audiences forever, but when you say the word fuck in front of his audience, it's just like the most shocking thing. So I used that to my advantage. We used our "I Love to Say Fuck" song, and anything I could use with "fuck" in it, we did, and it worked with that. So.
Should there be anyone watching who's new and still doesn't understand, like I've said before, there's interviews with Wednesday on this channel. You also see some of our other adventures, but Wednesday was the lead singer for the Murder Dolls. The band doesn't exist anymore. Joey Jordison has passed away. And rather than try to do a money grab and call yourself the Murder Dolls, even though you would have the right to do it, it's your band, it's your songs, you've decided to do a Wednesday 13 tour performing the music of Murder Dolls. And people are getting excited. What I like about Instagram and these, stories and things is that people get little tastes of the music. So for people who maybe didn't know all the songs, they start to stay in your head when you see them so many times. And I think you might be making new Murder Dolls fans, 20 something years later.
Yeah, every night I talk to the guys after the show every night, and we're just noticing this huge amount of teenagers now. Like if the shows are all ages, and most of them have been, it's just a lot of I hate to say kids because I'm 47 now, but they're kids. And every night I say, hey, 21 years ago this record came out, and I go, who was alive? Who bought it? And they raise their hand. I go, who wasn't alive? And then half the fucking audience raises their hands, and I'm like, this is good, and they're into it because they only heard about it. And I'm just lucky that I was part of something that people want to hear about this many years later, and they're still into it.
The themes of the Murder Dolls and Wednesday 13 never get old. Much like a vampire, they don't die. People will always have angst. People will always like horror, and you'll keep that going for a long time.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, again, like a lot of people, and that's why you said earlier, you're like, I am pretty personal. I tell people, I don't keep everything private. I talk about my family, I talk about my daughter, my granddaughter. And I think with having an image like this, a lot of people just assume we're like the music. And we're not. Like we're goofballs, we're fun, we enjoy hanging out with the people, and it's just a big part of what I do is a sense of humor. And I think most people get it, but some people don't want to give it the time of day and just think, it's what it is. And it's not. It's a lot of fun. Like like I said, when I met you and we started talking about this stuff, like you're into the same kind of stuff. It's just it works. It never dies. It's lasted all these years, and it's all I know.
Absolutely. Ned and Coco say they learned about Wednesday through the show, so that's great. Good to
That's
see
great.
new fans. Siegel Rock Squawk says you look 27. Luckily, you're not in the 27
I
club.
was 26 when the Murder Dolls album came out. I was 25 when I recorded it, and then it came out a year later. I was 26, and that was many moons ago. So,
Talk about a life lesson.
yeah.
Thomas Marshall's 41. He says it's great to see kids getting the vinyl. I don't own a record player, but I
Yeah.
did order a copy of the new Johnny Mathis Christmas record. It's
Oh,
signed
wow.
and it comes on green vinyl. Johnny Mathis is on a Christmas tour right now. He is 88 years old.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
88. Holy shit. How old is Mick Jagger? Is he older than that?
Mick Jagger's younger than that. He's like 82. Yeah.
Wow. That's insane.
Mm-hmm. All
Hope I'm
right.
touring when I'm 88.
I hope so.
We probably will. We'll probably all have like brain implant chips, and we'll be a head in a jar. Our bass player will be like 112.
I'll be dead and gone by then.
He's over there. I always throw the older jokes because he's like 2 years older than us, so he gets the old man jokes.
But is he a grandparent?
No, I'm the grandparent. Yeah. So make fun of me, guys. Sorry. Yeah, they call me. My nicknames are Grandpire. I'm a Grandpire. Someone made me a Grandpire shirt, and my granddaughter Piper. She calls me. My real name's Joe, so she calls me from the South. Everybody's got those stupid grandpa names. It's Peepaw or Mamaw or so. I'm Paw Joe.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe doesn't ring as much as Mr. Motherfucker, but close enough.
Well, yes, that'll be your second account.
Yeah.
Let's see. Matt Skillet Guy, my fiance, is a huge fan of Wednesday and got me into him. Just bought us VIP for her birthday for the December 2nd show in Cleveland. Well, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, Cleveland. I think that show is about 100 away from selling out too. So, like all the small place shows, all the 300-400 cap shows are going to be sold out. So anyone that's coming, awesome, you got tickets. But if you're sitting on the fence, don't get off the fence.
OfficialWednesday13.com. That's where you get the tour dates. You can buy tickets. Here's a question. I'm going to leave it for you. The Murder Doll asks, have you guys ever had any paranormal experiences?
Not within the band. I mean, I think we've all had our growing up ghost stories and weird stuff. And, uh, I've done like some, uh, I think Kerrang! Magazine had me go do like these haunted seance things. And that was pretty cool. But the creepiest thing I ever had happen to me, and I've told this story before, and someone was like, you should make a movie about that. And I'm like, I don't know where to go with it. But when I first moved into the house that my dad lives in right now, I moved in when I was like 11 or 12 years old. It's in the South, up North Carolina, and like the first week or two we lived there, we had like a garage yard sale, and we're selling stuff, and like people were coming by and welcoming us to the neighborhood, like, oh, blah blah blah, we live down the street, yada yada, and someone was like, three or four different people came by, not together, and told us that they heard our house was haunted. And of course, I'm like, oh yeah, this is awesome. My parents don't believe any of that stuff. So of course, I'm thinking about it or whatever. And there was a couple weird things. It's the first week I was there. Like I heard like noises and just random stuff. But like there was one night I used to always fall asleep watching Headbangers Ball. I could barely stay open till 3 a.m. to catch that enough's enough video in the last minute. And I would always set the timer on the TV because if I left the TV on, my dad would scream at me. So the timer had just went off. I was falling asleep on the couch, and I still to this day don't have any clue if this was real, a dream, or what. I was just like closing my eyes, and I see like a blade in the corner. So just the shiny blade that's coming, and it goes against my throat, and I hear this voice in my ear saying, "Do you want to see my face? Do you want to see my face?" And I'm going, I can't talk. In that dream where you can't fucking speak. And I'm saying no, no, and it keeps saying, "Do you want?" It's cursed. It's like, "You want to see my fucking face?" And I'm like, "No, no," and I just see the blade pull away, and the blade was the actual blade. It was a little X-Acto knife I'd stole from my art class that was in my room, and that was the blade. It was up against my throat, and I sat straight up from the couch. I don't have any clue how that could have happened. It was 3:10 when Headbangers Ball had just went off, so within 10 minutes I either had some crazy night terror or a ghost in the house pull a fucking X-Acto knife on me and asked me to see its face. That's just creepy. What
Very
if I would have
creepy.
said, yeah, what is it?
That's what I
Who
was
are
thinking.
you?
You strike me as the type who would have said, yeah. You
Oh,
seem curious.
no, no. That was terrifying. It makes my hands all clammy now thinking about it. Ugh.
Yeah, no, that's a creepy story. People have
Yeah.
said they would like to see us do some ghost hunting or going to places. I'm kind of a non-believer, so maybe we'd be a good team.
Yeah.
Eric was nice enough to super chat. His question: this is an MFK. That game is
Okay.
usually played with people, but this time
Right.
it's played with television series.
All
Uh,
right.
it's not as easy as it sounds. Star
All right.
Wars, Star Trek, and Battlestar Galactica. So you got to have
Very
one
fuck kill.
forever, one
All
for a
right.
little while, and one you have to get rid of.
Um, fuck. I don't. That's a Mary fuck kill. I would probably
Try not
kill
to say,
Star
try not to
kill
say
Star
kill
Trek.
so much. Yeah,
Yeah, kill
as
Star
crazy
Trek.
as it sounds, YouTube is against that word.
Okay, we will not say that. I would say, mm, can you say murder?
I think we can say
Yeah,
that.
murder. Okay,
Listen. I think Star Wars is my big one. I'm staying with Star Wars. That's me. I'm going to marry Star Wars.
okay.
Now it's tough. When I was a kid, I really liked Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, because it had Rick Springfield in it.
That's right. He
So
died in the pilot, but yeah.
yeah, he was Star. He wasn't Starbuck, was he? No, the other guy,
No, he was another
Spaceman.
character.
Yeah, Dirk Benedict was yeah.
Dirk Benedict was Starbuck. Yeah.
What a great name that was too, Dirk
Mhm.
Benedict, and his A team name, Templeton Peck.
Right, the Face Man. Yeah.
Yeah, the face man. If you want to get down to,
Star
but
Trek's had a lot of boring shit, in my opinion. But I
yeah,
think,
but it's still cool. Wrath of Khan's pretty awesome. Those earworms are pretty good. I might want
yeah,
to fuck that earworm.
Are we getting rid of Battlestar Galactica then? Is that what we're doing?
Battlestar Galactica, we will. I like Battlestar Galactica. I want to fuck
I do
Battlestar
too.
Galactica too. Maybe we'll just fuck all of them and just get rid of the other categories.
All right,
See.
Eric. I hope we
Why
answered
not?
your.
Yeah, let's go fucking through space.
All right. Yeah, that was a tough one. What are we asking here? Some of these things are awfully long, but okay. Let's see here. Someone's saying that Rick Springfield was Apollo's brother. Apollo has also passed away.
Uh-oh.
Someone talking about Pantera.
Okay.
Seen the real Pantera 4 times. The first time seeing this version was stoked. Nobody could get a crowd going as much as Pantera back in the day. Yeah, it's not really my thing, but
Yeah, I went to see Pantera because I think Typo Negative opened for them, but I listened to Pantera. I like those records. I went to see Typo, and then I was like, oh, this is pretty awesome too.
I
Definitely a
went to see
band that,
them.
yeah, they definitely changed the game.
I went to see them with Skid Row.
Oh, I missed
I
that
waited
tour.
in the hallway for most of Pantera. And
Yeah.
I was good friends with Vinnie Paul.
Mhm.
As I've said on the show before, my band was the last band that he ever went to see. I don't think that had anything to do with it, but it just wasn't my favorite. But I don't have a problem with them performing. I think they have the right
No,
to do it.
it sounds great too. It sounds great, and they're doing it right. So yeah, like I think you said it too. If Dime was alive and Vinny were alive, they would have been back together a long time ago. So anyone
Yeah.
that's even jumping in saying, "Oh, they shouldn't be doing," it's just not anybody's business. To be honest, it's nobody's business.
Like we said, young people, they never had the chance to see Pantera. There's people who love those albums.
Yeah.
Go see the
Yep.
guy who sang them.
Yep.
Mike Portnoy back with Dream Theater. That could not be a less interesting thing to me.
Yeah. I'm just like that's like, hey, somebody went back to Harry Potter school. It's not. It's kind of boring.
I could not be more interesting. So okay, so where the hell are you? In Albuquerque?
Albuquerque, New Mexico. We are in Walter White territory, Breaking
Yes.
Bad stuff.
You're in
So
Breaking Bad Town. Yep.
I'm gonna ask the audience to say my name tonight.
Wednesday, do you have a VIP meet and greet in Estonia?
Okay, yes. Well, we will be adding VIPs to the European tour with Cradle of Filth. We just haven't added those yet because we're not headlining that tour, so I didn't want to do all of our stuff before everything was squared away with Cradle of Filth. We will be adding those. I'll be posting that on my site and everything. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a meet and greet in Estonia. I don't even know where that is. It sounds so far away.
I've heard the name.
It sounds like Eternia. I feel like I'm going to meet He-Man and Skeletor through a portal or something.
Yeah, Man at Arms. Okay, so a lot of people watching, over 200 people watching, and like you said, you're going to have a busy day. There's a curfew where you are, right? So you
Yeah,
can't make
there's
much.
there was a sound curfew to like 5 here today. So luckily we have a front of house guy that had everything dialed in. I was able to do sound check and everything, and just one song. I just nailed it and be done. So yeah, but after the show I'll have 30 VIPs, and that'll take me probably 45 minutes or an hour, depending on how much I want to talk or if people want to talk. So yeah, I'll be busy, and we play at 9:30, and it is 5 or is it 6 o'clock? I think. Yeah, so I'll probably start getting dressed around 7:30, and I'll be busy till probably midnight, and then I'll take a shower and I'll go to sleep, and then I'm up every morning at 6:30 or 7 doing my socials and catching up on emails. I'm up before everybody, and I get up and do my 10,000 steps with my Fitbit every day before everybody even wakes up, usually, if the bus is stopped.
Estonia is on the border of Russia, near Finland, so it sounds safe.
Okay.
I won't worry about that.
All right. I've been to Russia and Finland before. It's always super cool there.
Yes, well, Finland, they get this music.
Yeah, Finland's been great for it. We used to fly there and just do one-offs and have like 600 or 700 kids just for one show. So I think with Cradle of Filth, that's going to be a pretty badass show.
Okay, let's see. Trying to Green through. Have you ever toured with Manson?
Yes, lots of times. We did Australia with him. He's just been a friend of mine for years, and he knows of my band Frankenstein Drag Queens. Like it goes way back to then. So I think he's always been cool with me because he knows I've always been doing this, and he was in the Dead in Hollywood video, and so yeah, we got a good history with him, and I'm hoping he gets his stuff figured out.
Yeah, I think without getting into too much, I think he'll be back. I don't, if you're not convicted, it's a hard time to cancel. And for anyone who dated Marilyn Manson and didn't know about him, it seems slightly ridiculous. But that's neither here nor there. I think he will be back. I don't think you can just end people's careers because of hearsay. That's why we have a court system. By the way, I'm using Michelle's law books to hold up my phone. This is the most expensive phone stand I've ever used. The California bar exam and entertainment law.
Yeah, you can read that, and you could read that and become Judge Judy.
I'm working on it.
Judge Jason next week.
That'll be my next show. Mandy would like to know if you have any DVD requests. People usually bring a Wednesday DVDs to watch. What are you looking for?
Any old horror movies, any comedy stuff, Airplane, The Jerk. I didn't bring in all my extras of those, so any kind of stuff like that. We love live music DVDs. Kiss, everybody loves Kiss, so any old Kiss DVDs or Wasp or anything like that is always good. We always watching movies, and if the satellite's not working, I'm always playing DVDs as a backup. So cartoons as well, Scooby Doo, any good fun stuff.
Now Lorraine has to leave because she's going to an event with John Stamos online. So she went from Wednesday 13 to John Stamos next. Yeah.
Nice, John Stamos. Best John Stamos movie is with Gene Simmons. What is it called? Never Too Young to Die.
I forgot this one.
Oh man, forgot it. Gene Simmons plays a transvestite named Ragnar, and he is wearing the clothing, or I'm not sure which one was first, but Linda Carter dressed as this, and that's where he got the outfit when she sang "I Was Made for Loving You" on a TV show. You probably know exactly what I'm talking about, probably more detail. But she dressed up in this outfit, and Gene Simmons wore that in this movie. It's horrible on him, but perfect on her.
Is it called To Live and Die in LA?
No, it's Never Too. Was it called Never Too Young? Never Too Young to Die, and it had a different name in Europe, though. I have it on DVD. I just don't have it with me.
I think you stumped me on that one.
Yeah, and John Stamos' name in the movie is it's like Ragnar or something. Like it's something weird, and he has like some power that his father gave him. His father's like some kind of ninja MacGyver. I feel like I'm making it up, but I can't.
It totally sounds like you're making it up.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, Jason knows. Never Too Young to Die. It's from like '87. Okay, I don't remember.
Yes, Vanity's in it. Vanity is John Stamos' love interest.
Streaming sales of this movie are going to go through the roof tonight.
Dude, yeah,
it's on YouTube.
I tweeted about it a couple of years ago, or I wrote it on Instagram or something about it, and John Stamos checked out my story. So
it's great.
Yeah.
At some point Wednesday, we should do one of these viewing parties. That's the hot thing with the kids now. You watch a movie like that, and then we comment during it, like Mystery Science Theater. Everyone starts at the same time.
That would be fun.
We'll have more things to do when you get home. And a lot of people believe the best Gene Simmons movie is Trick or Treat.
Well, that's a good one too. I think Gene Simmons' best movie is Runaway, the top selling. He's a badass in that, and his gun, you can still see that gun at the Kiss Mini Golf. He has it in the shelf there, which I need to
you'll have to come out and visit, and we'll go visit the gun.
Yeah,
he's got the spider too, or whatever.
Ramsey, I've programmed the spiders with poison, Ramsey. We watched that a couple weeks ago too, so.
It says Friedkin. Did William Friedkin direct To Live and Die in LA from The Exorcist?
I don't know. I do not know.
In 85. It has a 4.8 on IMDb.
To
Mark
Live and Die in
Sanchez,
LA, that was a pretty popular movie. I remember.
Mark Sanchez says we should have a trick or treat movie party. Halloween really doesn't end. I like to say that yesterday was Halloween, but it really doesn't end.
No, it doesn't. Like, soon as, like, last night we were leaving, I'm like, all right, so it's November, guys, and we turned on Cinemax and we watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 last night. So it just doesn't stop.
Yeah, it's a way of life. It's hard for me to get into the Halloween spirit when my house looks like Halloween every
Yes.
day.
Mm-hmm. But I think, like I told you, when we went to that convention, that was the best way to get into the month. No better way to do that.
I went and bought the rest of the figures. Now I've got the set.
There you go.
It's a habit. Let's see. Okay, I'm skimming through everybody's things. So what time is it there now?
It
6?
is 6:06 right now. So we play at 9:30. First band is on at 6:45. There's a band called Black Satellites on tour with us, and then Infected Rain, they're on at 7:30, and then Gemini Syndrome 8:25. And yeah, so it's a 4-band package. It's going to be packed in here. I can already tell it's going to be hot on stage. I'm like, all
a lot
right.
of sitting around.
Yeah. So it's like I've been up since 7:30 this morning, and then I just got busy right when you started your show. I had nothing else to do.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad because we have a streak of Wednesdays. Someone says, Wednesday, do you like the Ed Wood film starring Johnny Depp? Ed Wood lived right across the street from where I am right now.
Yes, you're in that little area. Isn't that where the bar Sinister Place Bordners are over there? I think they filmed some of the movie, some of the Orson Welles stuff. I think was filmed there.
I think so. Yeah.
Yes, Ed Wood changed my life. When I saw that movie, I was blown away by it. I went back and got all the Ed Wood stuff, and that is the reason I started my band Frankenstein Drag Queens, which music turned into Murder Dolls. So thanks to Ed Wood, he's the man. And that's why we say in that song Dead in Hollywood, I go, you can knock on Ed Wood, but it won't do you no good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
a nod to the man.
Ed Wood is great, and his I guess it's his wife, the one who wore the sweater. She's buried in Las Vegas. She's in the same cemetery as Tony Curtis and Red Fox. And
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Dolores
Man,
Fuller, I think, is her name.
that is correct. Dolores Fuller.
She wrote a lot of hit songs for Elvis. Did you know that?
I did hear about that. I think that was in his book. It's such a cool story on him, and like his connection with Lugosi and being his buddy up until he died, and like it's just, if you've never seen that movie, it's great, but it's sad as well.
One of my favorites, though. Really great,
Yeah.
and it's a time you don't think you're watching Johnny Depp. You totally suspend belief.
No, and there's so many good one-liners from that. I used to say for years, why don't you say it a little louder? I don't think Bella heard you. They would just say it like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's a good one. Boris Karloff, it's all makeup and growling. He doesn't deserve to smell my shit. It's a good one. And
Yes.
another, maybe my favorite scene of all, Bill Murray, when he's
Yeah.
getting baptized in the pool, and he says, "Do you take, your Lord and Savior?" And he says, "Sure."
Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's the best in that. He's Criswell, right? He's playing.
No, Jeffrey
No.
Jones.
The other guy was Criswell. He was the other guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Great cast, great movie. Probably my favorite of the Johnny Depp movies.
Yeah, I think so. I think that probably is the one that's overlooked. People don't even know about it. It just went. It was black and white. People didn't want to see it. They're like, "What is this?" But if you watch it, he says that movie was like, what, 30 times the budget of every Ed Wood movie ever made.
Yeah. And it's an all-star cast. I mean, everyone.
Yeah.
Martin Landau won an Oscar. Sarah Jessica Parker's in it. It's a big cast. This question has come up a few times. I can never answer this one, but maybe Wednesday could.
All
On
right.
a deserted island, what 3 CDs do you bring?
For me, I would bring an Eddie Money greatest hits. I love Eddie Money. For some reason, it puts me in the best mood. His greatest hits are amazing. Everything from, everything. I would pick that. I would probably pick a greatest hits of Kiss, and I don't know. Whenever I see you, I always think of the Ramones. I forget how fucking awesome they were and how many good songs. So I would just pick one of those Ramones anthologies because you get about 50 songs on one
Right.
CD. So that's
30
more bang
minutes.
for your buck. Yeah.
Yeah, 30 minutes, 50 songs. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think those are great choices. I can never narrow them down. I'm thinking about going to see Kiss's farewell show on Friday
Oh wow.
at Hollywood Bowl. I saw the last farewell show. It was a show. It was in 2000.
Right.
So
I've seen I don't know how many farewell shows I've seen. Someone asked me today. I was doing a story earlier, and someone asked me if I've seen Kiss live, and I remembered the very first Kiss concert I saw was Revenge. That was my first Kiss, and it was even better because Faster Pussycat opened. And I told Tammy this when we toured with him earlier this year. I was like, you're the reason I look like this. You know that, right? I'm like, the black hair, the top hat, everything. Because when they came out, it was on the Whip tour, and he came out with I didn't even know he had dyed his hair black because we saw the video, and then he walked out on stage, and I was just like, I got to do that. That is, and so that concert was even better for me because I got to see Pussycat, which was like my favorite band at the time. I thought Kiss was all right after them. Uh, but then I saw Kiss on the reunion tour in '96, and that was cool, but it still wasn't as cool as the Revenge album. I thought that record was badass. It's it's their best non-makeup record, without a doubt. I'll fight somebody over it.
I saw Hot in the Shade.
Mhm.
It was, that time it was Slaughter and Winger
Mhm.
and Kiss. It was Eric Carr's last show. He passed away after that. The show was at Madison Square Garden. And then I saw them with Faster Pussycat. You know, Tammy's look at the time was very criticized. A lot of the fans
Yeah.
of Glam did not like that third album and didn't get some of the heavier songs. Now, I think people are used to it.
I think I had my hair dyed black within a month of him dyeing his hair black. My friend had already dyed his hair black because of LA Guns, and we looked in their liner notes, and they said they used like Clairol blue black dye, and we didn't even know what that was. We just went and found it, and but yeah, he dyed his hair first, my best friend, and then I was like a few weeks later, I saw Tammy do it, and I was like, here we go. And I remember because I had like bleach blonde hair, it was white, and I remember I dyed my hair, and I went in the next day, and I saw my mom, and she looked at me, and I thought she was going to kill me, and she went, wow, you look so good. She loved it. So I was like, all right. So she embraced it, and I got out of the blonde haired Sebastian Bach look and went for the Tammy Down Alice Cooper look.
We've learned how supportive your mom is on this show. Each week we get another anecdote about
Yeah,
your
my
mother
mom.
helping with clothes.
My mom passed away during COVID, so I talk about her all the time because she was so involved in my world. So I still talk about her as if she's here.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you were talking about the black hair and LA Guns, and I think a lot of people, LA Guns was an inspiration on them. It's
Yeah.
funny if you watch old LA Guns videos, especially LA Guns live in like Japan, and you look at
Wow.
their hair, you know now you look at it and you go, look at these guys with their big giant wigs on.
Yeah.
But back then we believed it. We wanted to believe that Aquanet put a wig on these guys' heads. I
Yeah.
asked Kelly Nichols. I showed him an LA Guns record. I turned it over and I said, "Can you please point out how many people are wearing a wig in this picture?"
And what
And
do you say?
he said, "Of course I will." And he
Yeah.
picked up his pointing finger and he pointed to two people. I don't
Uh,
want to say who, but I think you could guess. And I'll give you
yeah.
a hint. They're alive.
Oh, okay. I had always heard different things in the day because you didn't know. I always wondered about Steve Sex Summers. Now I know. Now I know that. I
That's
always
the
wondered, and
biggest of all.
I always wondered about Derek Frigo too. And then I saw some videos of him. I think I told you when we were hanging out, and he was just doing some shredding stuff, and he still had cool hair, and it was short. I'm like, maybe was it real?
I think he might have been real. I think it might have been.
Yeah. So there's some
I mean,
people
I'll have to get another opinion, but yeah, it's
you can't tell.
yeah, it's This world of Stevie Sex Summers and Christy Crash Majors is just insane. You've been
Yeah.
involved with it. You've toured with those guys.
Yeah, I think I may have told you this will be for your show and your fans. Years ago, I don't remember what year it was. Christy was actually my booking agent,
Mhm.
and for a couple of years when he was Artist Worldwide, and Christy was such a fan of Murder Dolls and Wednesday 13. It was almost like he was like I used to try to look like Christy Crash, and then I see Christy Crash almost kind of dressing the way I was dressed. And then he was like, I love your band. And he talked to my manager, and they were like, we want you to write the Pretty Boy Floyd album for us. And I said, okay, I can do that. And I had a ton of demos that I just didn't use. And I sent Chris 4 or 5 songs, and they picked out 4 or 5 songs. One was called Doomsday Afternoon. That's just one title I remember, a Dog Day Afternoon parody. And they picked that and a few more. And then, like, within 2 weeks, Christy and Steve had a huge falling out online over there was some pedal board. It was, remember the big, it was a metal sludge. It was a 30-page thing on the pedal board from Pretty Boy Floyd, and they were fighting over. I don't remember, but the band imploded, and I never heard anything about it again. And I just thought that was insane. That I grew up listening to Pretty Boy Floyd, had their cassette, and then 15 years later, they're asking me to write their record. And I said I would do it, but I also said I didn't want to be credited for it. I wanted to be a silent writer on it, but
A
a
ghost.
ghost writer. So I did that with, I talked to a couple of bands about doing that. I talked to Brittany Fox about that. Was it Tommy? Tommy Paris was talking to me about doing some stuff. And so yeah, a lot of those guys I grew up listening to had heard about me talking about them on Metal Sludge and stuff, and they were super into it because I was the only active musician going around going, yeah, I like Brittany Fox and Spread Eagles, so I became friends with these people, and it's been pretty cool, man. I've had a very interesting ride so far, and like I said, that's one of them. Like, hey, you're gonna write Pretty Boy Floyd? Oh, okay.
You might have dodged a bullet on that. They seem
I did
they,
dodge a bullet on that.
they seem
But
dysfunctional.
again, I will say that before I knew who Pretty Boy Floyd, got to know them, that record was like, when I was 12 years old, that was the coolest record ever.
I
You
like
know?
it. I
Yeah,
think
it
there's
was.
fun songs on that record.
Yeah,
You
there's
can't
great
take it too
songs.
serious.
No, no, but yeah, I thought that was insane that I would get that offer to do that. Like, okay, but and I dodged a bullet for sure. No
Yeah.
offense to those guys. Like I said, I still dig that record, but I'm just gonna stay out of that mess.
Here's Mandy. Mandy's the flip. She's found me through Wednesday, which is great, and she's enjoying the shows. Wednesday, sometimes I do the show now, and I realize there's a different audience that doesn't know the same bullshit that I normally talk about, and maybe not some of the bands, but there's a couple hundred interviews or more on this channel that people can deep dive into, and then some of the stuff that we've done. Here's a question. Wednesday, did you watch Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy? I never saw it.
I didn't watch it. I like Eddie Murphy. I learned how to curse from 48 Hours. That's where I
Mhm.
learned all of my language. But yeah, I'm just, Disney stuff just doesn't. I don't know if I see I don't really watch it. Was never into the cartoons as a kid. Our school trips used to make us go see like Fox and the Hound, and I'm just like boring. I'm like staring at the Terminator movie poster in the hallway instead. So I just never really cared for Disney stuff. I heard it's great, but it's just not for me.
Yeah, I just didn't. It didn't seem like something I needed to see.
Yeah.
There's always the chance that Michelle forces me to watch it, and then I will. I will. But other than that, not for
Right.
me. But some people enjoy it. Let's see here. And then Skylar says found Wednesday through the show and been listening to his music, really enjoying it. Well, that's great. I like to hear that. Wednesday is the perfect Halloween thing. I've been talking about maybe Wednesday doing some of these Halloween conventions and horror things because it's so fitting. Your music and
Yeah, I mean,
everything is
this
made.
is the one we were at. You saw, I'm like, like I say it every time. Like, there's people walking around. I see them with Rob Zombie shirts or Ghost shirts, and they'll walk by my booth when I'm doing these conventions, and they have no idea who I am. And I'm just like, I'm your favorite band, and you don't even know it. You don't
Mhm.
even know the treasure trove of albums and songs, like everything.
Yeah, that's here's an easy question for me. Jason, after Steven, will you be Wednesday 13's tour manager? No. Wednesday 13 works way too hard for me. He's got a great tour manager. And but yeah, he you work way too hard for what I do. I sit in airports every day. It's frustrating, but you are in close quarters and 38 shows, and I
Yeah,
couldn't do what you do.
the one cool thing about this tour is I don't have to get on a plane this tour. Between it started at my house and it's going to drop me off at my house, so I don't have to get on an airplane. Everybody else, except for the two of us, or three of us, live in California, so everybody else has to fly. I'm cool with flying, but it's still not my favorite. And it's not necessarily flying these days; it's the people you got to fly with, and everyone's just Looney Tunes, and you got people flipping out thinking they're seeing flea stacks on airplanes.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. You never know.
Yeah, that is very true. Rayanne says Sean's got to get Wednesday at Frightmare Falls. Well, I agree. I
Yeah.
think those things will happen. I talked to Sean a little bit today as well. I was trying to see if he was interested in going to see Kiss or Guns N' Roses. He was not. Um, but you know, I feel like this is almost it for Kiss. I do think Kiss will play Las Vegas at some point. I
Yeah.
don't think. I think they won't tour like this, but I think they'll play again. Michelle's
Definitely.
never seen Kiss. I feel like even a poor version of Kiss is better than no Kiss at all.
Yes, I agree. It's just
And
I mean, it's just a spectacle. And it's great just to say that it started so long ago. I mean, almost everybody took something from them, whether they want to admit it or not. Like the big rock show exists because of Kiss. So it's
yeah,
like,
oh, I agree.
regardless of, like, and Kiss is one of my favorite bands, and I don't care what Gene Simmons says. I don't want to hear what he says. I like the character. You know what I mean? Like, I've always looked at Kiss like cartoon characters to me. I don't need to know much. I like Spider Man. I like Doctor Doom. I don't need to know what they think about the presidential situation. Sing me rock and roll songs, spin webs. I'm into it. Everything else, fuck off.
I'm with you. Wednesday, have you been to Six Flags Magic Mountain?
No, I am not a roller coaster guy. I wish I was. Like I said, I get sick on the Harry Potter ride. I can't handle it. I used to be able to do roller coaster stuff. I'm not really big into crowds and all that kind of stuff. So no, I don't unfortunately go to any of those amusement park things.
Well, I am not a roller coaster guy either. But, and I hear that Six Flags these days isn't having much of a crowd, but that is where they filmed Kiss Meets the Phantom. Sean has a great video. I want to go see those locations. It's also Wally World. It's where the
Oh,
Griswolds
right.
and
Okay.
the spot where the Griswolds get held up by the SWAT team is still there. Most people walk past it and don't realize it. I don't know how much
Okay.
longer that park has. It's pretty old.
Well,
So
let's
we
go.
might have to go visit
Yeah.
it and not go on roller coasters.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah, all the Wally World stuff, and then the Phantom of the Park. I have to walk through there and be like I'm looking for something, and you have to say, you're looking for someone, but it's not kids. It's
That's
not
a good
kids.
impression.
Yeah, right.
That's a good poll. It's also Spinal Tap, Jazz Odyssey. This is not the place to play a freeform jazz Odyssey.
Really?
That is
Wow.
where the
Lot
guy,
of history
I think the
there.
guy gives the, or whatever, yeah, all of that is there. So we may have to visit that when we get
What if
done.
we go? Can I bring a BB gun with the price tag still on?
I don't think you can. It would be great though. It could leave a flesh wound. It could leave a
Yeah.
get really bad.
It could hurt. It could hurt really bad.
The beginning of Wally World is actually the San Anito, whatever it's called, Andito racetrack, where he punches the moose is a racetrack, and then it cuts to, the Six Flags. So we may have to do that and not go on any.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
But well, Wednesday you probably got to get to work.
Yeah, I probably need to start getting in the zone and get my day figured out. But I'm glad I
How
was able
long
to
does it
drop by.
take to get ready? You know, you got to put on the outfit and the makeup. How long does it take to get ready for the show?
Not long at all. I've stripped it down. I mean, it's pretty easy. It's a pair of stretch jeans and a pair of tall boots, a Dracula jacket and a Dracula shirt and a leather jacket. Everything else, just depending if I'm talking. Like I pace myself. I give myself that 2 hour window. It really takes me about 20 minutes to do it all, but I space it over 2 hours of drinking coffee and smoking my weed before the show and listening to Kiss and watching Family Feud. We all watch Family Feud as a group
Mhm.
and play it every night. So it's like a little ritual thing that we do. So yeah, it doesn't take long at all. I've learned how to do it pretty easy. And I also run off during the show, during the drum solo, and touch my makeup up. So people want to know why I look so good through the entire show. It's because I'm constantly touching it up.
Have you watched the Family Feud episodes from the early 80s where the TV stars play? Like the Brady Bunch plays against Batman?
Yes, I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember seeing those as a kid. And is all that stuff on Pluto on those game show channels?
All those episodes are on YouTube,
Okay.
and they're great. They're still fun, and Mr. Howell is like brain dead, doesn't know where he is, and Vincent Price though was pretty sharp.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
and then Richard Dawson like makes out with like the chicks
Everybody.
from Lost in Space. It's really creepy.
Richard Dawson.
He was a creepy guy,
He
but.
was.
All right. Well, I'm just going through people's comments and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, Wednesday will be back next Wednesday. I don't know where you're going to be.
I think I have a day off next week, so we'll be somewhere. By the time you do your show, we'll probably be parked up somewhere. I don't know where we're going to be exactly.
You'll be dancing across the USA.
Yeah, we get into Texas this weekend, so we have so yes, Texas this weekend, Mondays in Tulsa, so we're making our way that way. So
All right. Well, that sounds good. Wednesday. We'll find out where in the world Wednesday 13
yes,
is. Halloween continues all year round. You can't kill the boogeyman. We've learned that.
nope.
And
Evil dies tonight.
Yes, that's right. All right, I'm going to wrap this up, throw in some plugs and things. Go to officialwednesday13.com. Get your
Yep.
ticket and go see the show.
Yeah, we have 29 left. You can check out all the dates on officialwednesday13.com. There's VIPs left for some of the shows, so come out. It's a good show. We put on a good rock show. Every night we have people that don't know the band that work at the venues just going, "Holy shit, you guys do the thing. You bring it." No tracks, nothing. We have an intro that we roll, and everything else is live, no jive, live in the raw, liver in the raw.
Nice. All right, Wednesday. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next Wednesday.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. See you next Wednesday.
All right. So anyway, Wednesday 13. It's great that he was able to stop by again, and I am so happy to turn people on to his music, and also have Wednesday's fans, a lot of you watching right now, turn on to this show. For those who don't know much about my show, every Monday is normally a tour diary when I can get them out, which is I'm the tour manager for Stephen Piercy of RATT, and it's really about my life on the road. Actually, that's the name of it. Where I go out and I film everything I do and try to go to interesting places in that time. Then on Wednesdays, we do this live show, which is really just a chat. And sometimes we have guests. Right now, as Wednesday's touring, we have Wednesday come in and we do this Where in the World is Wednesday 13. And then Fridays are interviews when I have the time. It has been crazy running nonstop. So that is that. I see a super chat, so I want to take a look. Parking lot T-shirt money for Kiss. Yes, I thank you. I'm gonna walk over there on Friday and buy a bootleg a Kiss shirt. Maybe not. I think I might be done with the Kiss shirts. I bought Cure shirts in the parking lot. They're more exciting to me. But thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. And some people taking off, which is fine. Wednesday, we'll be back next week. Let's see. Thank you. Everyone's saying such nice things. It's great. I was considering seeing Guns N' Roses tonight. I still might. It says Mark Sanchez, if you're watching, you live in California, maybe you know. It says that the ticket says 6 o'clock in the Black Keys. I don't need to see the Black Keys. I don't even need to see the White Keys. Not interested. But so I'm trying to figure out if I can make it because Michelle doesn't get out of whatever she's doing until later. But I would like to go see it. If not, Guns N' Roses maybe tomorrow. Kiss on Friday. Dr. Paul Shortino, I see, is in the audience. He will be on the show soon, just for the record. The real Paul Shortino. Francis would rather meet Pearson and Kiss. Well, you'll have that chance at a market near you soon. Mariela, thank you so much, Jason, for doing this Wednesday. I'll be here next Wednesday. Well, awesome. Thank you. And if you guys would be so kind, go over to my what do you call it? Instagram, because I'm so terrible with it. JSIN_green. I think the links are in the comments for all these things. It's hard to believe I've been talking for 90 minutes. Wow. I almost didn't do this today. At first, I wasn't going to take this vacation, but anyway, I'm glad that we got to chat a little bit. Some people feel like there is no Kiss anymore. Well, I mean, listen, I get it, but even a damaged Kiss is better than no Kiss at all, as I said. So I am in California until Saturday, and then I will be off to Vegas for a few days, try to catch things up, and then I will be off to Washington with Stephen Piercy, and then looks so much cooler in the movies when people do that. And then, I don't know, there's maybe 5 more shows this year. Looking forward to the holidays. I've got big plans. Holiday fun happens here. And then you'll, when Wednesday gets off the road in December, you'll have some new videos of us doing things. Maybe at some point we'll talk about Johnny Monaco and his luggage business. I don't know. I know he's been busy at the plant, so I don't know if he has time. But could happen. For some of you new people, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Maybe you're not even missing out. Oops. Sorry. I almost dropped the camera. You would have seen I'm not wearing pants. Blah, 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 blah. Anyone else want to say something before I get out of here? Now is your chance. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Are you releasing a tour diary from the Arcada Theater last month? Yes, I released a tour diary from every show, but I'm behind on editing, so you'll see it soon. Let's see, rapid fire questions here. I enjoyed wasting these 90 minutes with you, not really wasting those episodes. Thank you, Mariela. And we didn't see your Funko Pop. Oh, okay, I'll show it again. This is the safe, and then the safe opens, and then inside is a reprint of the original Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Pop. The original one is worth a bunch of money, so this is a reprint, Pop Classics. And then you get this card and this coin and this pin. I feel like I'm selling this thing. By the way, for those who want my Funko Pop, I will have more of those soon. They sold for a lot of money, and I gave a portion to charity. We will be doing Toys for Tots again on this show very soon, so you're going to want to get involved with that. Blah, 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 blah. Respectful video. I'm assuming you're talking about the Steve Riley video, but yes, thank you. Indica or Sativa? I think I like Indica. Is that the one that makes you tired? How is it going with the Libra? It's going okay. I accidentally pulled one out of my arm the other day. Sucked. It's hard traveling on the road with it as well, because if it should come out, then I have to go back to finger pricks, and I never want to do that again. But for those asking, that is the Libra Freestyle 2. I pulled it with my shirt and it came out of my arm. It's terrible. Commando or Rockaway Beach? Commando. Piercy Funko Pop, we're in negotiations. Johnny's luggage on Metal Sludge. I've heard. The Tom Kiefer autograph on the wall is Michelle's. That is correct. Trying to get everybody's things. Merch, that's the big one. Coming soon. We're designing. I have an artist who's working on it. I bet Matt Thorne is eating a Paquito Mas tonight. I don't know if the Thorns would go to Paquito Mas. I'll have to ask them. All right. Nice seeing you, Jim. Nice seeing you, Thomas. Mark says, Jason, been meaning to say thanks for turning us on to Wednesday 13. You recommended the Bloodstock 2018 show. Amazing. I appreciate it, sir. Well, thank you. I agree. That show was great. If you haven't seen it, go on the old YouTube. And a Big P says he also has one of those. I think he means the Rudolph, which is great. Too many videos hating on Steve Riley. Yours was great. Thank you for being positive. I don't understand why anybody would hate on Steve Riley. I mean, listen, if he had a business problem, Tracy Guns claims they had business problems. That's fine. That's between them. But hating on a guy who was a nice guy and was a part of a lot of the soundtracks of our lives, I thought I would take some heat for putting that video out. And again, most people are enjoy it. All I did is speak from the heart, and that's it. Everything about this show is real. That's it. That's how it goes. Same with Wednesday. Wednesday is incredibly open, to tell you about his life. Sometimes that's how you have to be. Okay. Thank you, Jason, for all the time you spent with us, bringing you the best. Oh wait, yeah. And listen, I'm just rambling now. Someone asking, where's Warren DeMartini? Ask Matt Thorne. They go grocery shopping together. Otherwise, he doesn't respond to my text. Somebody asked about George Lynch. I've been texting him. He hasn't written back yet. I'll have to see about that. Blah, 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 blah. All right, I think I've had it. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the super chats. I appreciate the memberships. Subscribe. If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It helps. That helps. You want to support? Subscribe. That's free. And then if you want to be involved in other perks, Patreon, become a member of the channel, all those fun things. I've got content for days. There's going to be a lot of new videos. And while I'm here in Hollywood, going to bring you some new stuff too. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you all again sooner than later. All right.